And party people, everybody. Oh, wow. Oh, look at you.
Hey, this week I
Hey.
got a new DJ name.
Oh, yeah? What is it?
DJ Rumpelstiltskin.
Uh, DJ what?
DJ Rumpelstiltskin.
Why, Michael?
Because this week we're spinning gold.
I guess we is. So you go ahead, you get yourself on the Miggy mic, and we're gonna go on the Miggy opening. Here we go. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. The DJ.
Yeah, did it. You know, I like that. Did it.
Michael is doing DJ Rumpelstiltskin is on the
Right.
ones and twos.
Yeah, that I'm living my life like it's golden. There
Oh
you go.
my gosh, living the
There you
life
go.
like it's golden.
Golden.
All right, well, let me do this real quick. Interludes Extra streaming every Tuesday on the YouTube channel, Facebook company homepage, Pure Lighthouse, home of Interludes, LinkedIn, and we are now available on Pod TV Roku channel. Thank you very much, Mark. If you'd like to be a sponsor on our platform, book time with us at linktr.ee/Pure Light Media. And if you'd like to learn how to do a podcast, go to the same website and book time. A podcast, of course. And if you get a podcast, and if you're interested in your own platform, and if you are a fan of Talk on Tuesdays, #Womble Wednesdays, and our audio show Interludes, a Pure Lighthouse production, join us on Patreon. That's right.
Yeah, and if you like pizza, send me some.
Become a fan and a member of our podcasting community today. It's not Kevin out of Brooklyn. It is Daniel that is helping us out today.
Let's give him a little plan.
I know he is the man with the plan. There's Daniel. He is filling in for Kevin. He is our moderator. Thank you so very much, Mr. Nelson. Woohoo!
Hey, Val's trying to spend some gold.
He's trying to spend some gold?
He's trying to spend some gold.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, yes, I appreciate that. And my goodness. And I see who's in the building. Hello, Wise. What's up? Great to see you. Oh, my goodness. I appreciate it. All the people are in the building. You go ahead and give us a shout. Well, I guess
it's a big building, right? Everybody in this building. It's a big building.
It's a huge building.
It's like a warehouse.
I can definitely appreciate that. And speaking of spinning gold,
yeah, tell us.
Well, you know what? I was thinking about this movie that's coming out called Spinning Gold. And this is, I believe, the story of Casablanca Records. Do you remember? I'm a little nutty. I used to love the designs on the 45 and the 33 records. You know, I wish I had a record album right here.
Yeah, no, I do. I remember them.
You remember how they would look?
And I remember the super sounds of the 70s. I remember the 70s disco record labels. You had like you had Fantasy. You had
that was one.
RSO with the pig.
With the little pig. Oh, what's that? I thought that was a ram.
Yeah.
I thought that was a ram.
I thought it was a pig. I was pretty sure it was a pig. But then you had them and RSO for a second. And then there was what else? Electra, Asylum.
There was
Casablanca, right?
Casablanca. Let me get a few in. There was, I want to say, Tamala.
Tamala
Motown.
coming out, yeah, Motown, because it was named
Mhm.
after,
It was that, and then
Barry's
Epic,
daughter.
Epic Records,
Yeah,
Epic with the
Epic, certainly
mhm,
Epic was out of CBS, and it had the Jacksons, famously had
mhm.
the Jacksons on Epic Records, and then Michael on the records, the 2 records that everybody in the world bought at one point in time. Everybody in the world owned those records. So,
Pretty much
yeah, there was a big one, but Casablanca is just like
Casablanca.
it's like the little record label that could, right?
Mhm, and I didn't know as we're getting ready to get educated again and millions of
There's the
others,
queen there.
the
I
Queen,
see her.
the home to Donna Summer, Parliament
Mhm.
Funkadelic, Village People, and the rock band Kiss. I did not know that.
Yeah,
I did not
yeah,
know
so, I
that.
mean, I think part of what this movie is doing, and there hasn't been a lot of publicity about it. There's been some
Mhm.
little, like, 15-second commercials. I know it's expensive for these TV commercials nowadays, but there's been, like, almost 0 advertising on a movie that probably
Mhm.
should have an amazing soundtrack, and it's got these really wild cameos. Like, who's in this,
Yeah.
Val?
Well, I mean, I have to say that it says it's featuring the music of Donna Summer, Isley Brothers, George
Mhm.
Clinton's Parliament, Kiss, Bill Withers, and Gladys Knight. So we have a lot of folks right here. We got Wiz Khalifa portraying George Clinton. Had
See the
no
resemblance?
idea.
I mean, they do have a common interest. They do share a common thing that they both enjoy
Hmm.
very, very, very much.
And I think
Not blowing
so
smoke
that's
up. Yeah. Yeah.
so
Hmm.
we have so you have Wiz Khalifa as that, and then we have
George Clinton.
Lettucey as Gladys Knight. She's in the Dead Center.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, and the young lady that's in pink. I think she's portraying Donna Summer. I'm trying to get her
Yes,
bring
she
up her name.
is.
What is
Yeah,
her
she
name?
she she that's a great question. You go into information I didn't provide for you. So
It's
yeah,
okay.
that's okay. Nah, I can tell you in just a second.
Yeah, so it's
So
a
the
lot of cameos that are in this film. We also have Jason Derulo,
Taylor Parks plays Donna
Taylor
Summer.
Parks,
Yeah.
right? And
Mhm.
I'm not familiar with her, but I know that. And then
Wasn't either.
Chris Reed as Frankie Crockett, who is from
Chris
Saturday
Red.
Night Live.
Chris Red. Yeah.
Chris Red, and
Chris
then you
Red
have
who has
Jason
Chicago
Derulo,
connection.
right? Jason
Chris Red.
Derulo.
Yes. Yes.
I'm
The
saying that
ever
just saying
never
that correct.
wearing a shirt. Jason Derulo.
So
Yeah.
he is going to be
Yeah.
portraying Ron Isley.
Well, that makes sense. I can see that. I mean, they still they have that kind of like la da da kind of deal with them, and women following all over them. I, the funny thing is that so Wiz plays George Clinton in the movie Parliament
Mhm.
Funkadelic at the time. The reason that these cameos are here is because Parliament Funkadelic was on Casablanca,
Ah,
which is
exactly.
a lot of people remember. But as Val said, Casablanca was home to Parliament and Kiss and Donna Summer, and some of the producers that Donna worked with, like Giorgio Moroder, was there at Casablanca at the time. So he
Mhm.
produced some of these. Anything you think of with Donna Summer was on Casablanca. She was still with the record label, even in the early '80s when she was doing the whole. She works hard for the money. She had just come out of Casablanca then. So
Mhm.
this is a story about how the record label came to be. It's kind of a labor of love. It's told by one of Neil Bogarts, who's the founder of Casablanca. One of his sons is,
Mhm.
put this movie together. It's taken years for it to be out, and it's going to have this kind of really quiet release just because of the nature of movies today. It's going to
Mhm.
go to theaters this Friday, March the 31st. But I mean, you should know probably if you're still into, current music, one of Bogart's sons, Evan, was a
Mhm.
songwriter on Beyonce's Halo and some
Wow,
other
that's a
movies.
great song
Yeah,
too.
so so the
Mhm.
family is still, involved pretty much in on the music industry. One of the sons, of course, we mentioned, wrote and directed this, so they still have connections. And I mean, if you think about it, from I Feel Love and any of the Village People songs, right? YMCA, in the Navy, Macho Man. If those were your songs, you were established forever, right? Your legacy is forever. The thing is that their dad died in 1982. So back at the age of 39, he was very young. The sons were young; they were 12 and 4
Mm-hmm.
at the time. And kind of after his death, things kind of took a turn, really, and eventually Casablanca gets sold to the larger record label. Um, Bogart, toward the end of his life, finds this young woman who is doing rock and roll, who goes by the name of Joan Jett. So, this guy
Wow.
has an ear for music, and
Wow.
that's one of the things that the movie will highlight. I was telling with Val and I were talking. It's like this has got to be. If you just put the Casablanca songs and say, "Here's your soundtrack," this has got to be one of the better soundtracks.
And speaking of soundtracks, if we were to think about some of our favorites, our top 5 favorite disco songs from that era, what would that be? What's your top 5?
Oh, my top five.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I love music. I love disco, house music, and you and I have talked about it. Coach Tony, we talked about that before. I'm kind of nerdy when it comes to it. I read about like the history. I've read several histories of disco. Seriously, don't get me started on disco. I'll give you the short version. No, really. You know. So my number five would be "You Make Me Feel Real" by Sylvester,
Okay, I
which
can
is
see
probably
that.
one of the most flamboyant songs of the disco era. It just is completely over the top and has a crazy video. If you're crazy enough to seek out the video, it's worth seeing. Especially given the time that was made in the 70s. Like, what are they
Mhm.
doing? My number
Number
four
4.
is on
Mhm.
Casablanca Records. So
Okay.
so if I go to this movie, and I think I may on Friday, I want to hear Flashlight. Like Flashlight Parliament Funkadelic.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it's hard to hear that song and kind of sit still. Even as I'm talking, I kind of start bouncing like
Yeah.
Flashlight.
I never got
Wow,
this
wow.
pain.
Yeah.
Ooh. I still
My
don't know what
my
they're
number
saying.
my number three is you still don't know what they're saying?
I still don't know what they're saying. I think
It's
they were
like
real high when
decades
they
later.
wrote it
You're
and
like,
recorded it.
what was the lyrics to the song?
I know.
Yeah,
I'm
their
running
lyrics.
out of faith.
Speaking
Ooh.
of songs with like what are the lyrics to this song? My number three is Cherze La Femme by Dr. Buzz's original Savannah band.
And
And
I
I say
love
that
how.
because yes, I am a nerd and I'm not a DJ in real life, but I certainly love the kind of the whole everything about it. So when I go to music, unlike some people, Val, right? I actually
Mhm.
know the artist. I can tell you like sometimes the record label, where it came from, and anyway, so that's my three. Number two is also in Casablanca. That's
Mhm.
Donna Summer's "I Feel Love," which I think is one of the most perfect songs made by a music producer. It's
Mhm.
just it comes to this crescendo, this climax, if you will, to the song. Certainly,
Yes,
if you know
indeed.
what the song's talking about, it has
Mhm.
it. But my number one is by this group called Machine, and it's a song that I come to. There was a time when it was hard to hear it. You could only hear it almost in a club, like you never
Yeah.
radio
Right.
often, and it's called
Mhm.
"There But by the Grace of God" by
Mhm.
Machine, and it's one of those songs. As soon
Mm.
as you start to hear it, I start to sing along, and I want to dance. So I'm going to try not to think about it too much because I will start dancing. But
And
Val,
and
what are your top five?
I will say this before I get to my top 5. The very last song that you just meant, "There by the Grace of God," and I think "Ashe La Femme," I think those songs in the Chicago house music scene, that's considered deep house. Those two songs.
Yeah, yeah. I tried to stay away from like house songs because I could do a whole list just on house. So
Me
I wanted
too.
to,
Me too.
but these are songs that kind of are both. They're both
Right.
deep house, but they're disco. I mean,
Yeah, it is
house
because it comes
music
out of that era.
kept,
Mm-hmm.
house kept it alive. But those
Mm-hmm.
songs, I mean, there's just, yeah, those songs have a vibe to each of
They
them.
sure do. They sure do. Now, I'm
Yeah,
here's
what do
my
you
top
got?
five.
Yeah.
Now at number 5, I'm
Uh-huh.
going with Donna Summer, but I'm gonna go with Bad Girls, which I still think was probably at the end of the disco era situation. But that's what I remember. Just that toot toot, hey beep beep. It was a fun song for me as a kid. So I used to love that song as a person growing
Bad
up.
Girls?
Bad Girls. Now, the song that was just forever long. I think there's like a 10-minute version of it. Disco Inferno by the Tramps.
Really? Disco Inferno?
It just kind of just kept going on and
And
on.
that's from Saturday Night Fever. That was the Saturday Night Fever song, right? That was the
Yes.
Tramps. The
That was the
Tramps.
Tramps. Yeah, you're a tramp. Tramp. Anyway, my other favorite, and you know what? I'm gonna do this. I saw a comment from Mark, and Mark said, "Hey, Chic and GQ had some great disco songs. They sure did. Because my top three, my number 3 song is Good Times, with the most perfect instrumental break, which was the crux of the song in hip hop. That would be Rapper's Delight.
Good times.
Yes, that's right. So
These
Good
are
Times.
the.
Yeah, these are the good times. Do you remember a group called First Choice?
Of course I do.
Dr.
Told you
Love.
I didn't Oh yeah,
Yo,
Dr. Love would be in my top 10. It's not my top 5,
yo.
but that would be Dr. Love is, yes.
hmm
Yeah, somewhere I think in my YouTube cube is a link, a shortcut to Dr. Love, the video.
What is Mark talking about? Who remembers Disco
I
Duck?
do, but let's not go in. Let's not go there, okay?
Oh my
Just
God,
okay, buddy.
that
Stay,
is too funny.
keep Carolina on your mind, all right? Let's stay out of that.
That is too funny. And now
Disco
my
Duck.
number one favorite,
Ugh.
and I like to call her the boss. I think other people like to call her that too. If there's not a cure for this, I don't want it. I don't want it.
Billy,
Yes,
really?
man. That was one of my that was at the and I just like how it would I like the second half of the song because how it just kind of opens up like it's not over. It was something about that the change of the song that I used to love. Now, here it is. It's tied
I mean,
with
it's
another Cheek
tied.
song. It's tied with another Cheek song. Oh, what wow.
It's
He's the greatest
tied?
dancer. Oh, what wow. Had I never seen. I love Chic because so Chic shows up
Okay,
twice
well,
in my
what's the
top
name of that
5.
song?
Oh, Sweetest Hangover.
Yeah, that's Love Hangover, but the
Love
song
Hangover. I'm sorry. Love
that's not a
Hangover from
chic.
Diana
The other
Ross.
song's not a chic song.
I'm sorry. So Diana Ross.
Yeah. I got your top 5, but
Mhm.
you tying it. That song is not a chic song. That
Oh,
last
it's not? Oh,
no.
I'm so sorry.
All right,
I'm
so
sorry.
Belle's
I
top
forgot.
5 has, but she got Bad Girls, Donna Summer. All right, for 4 you got Disco Inferno, which of course is the Tramps, which coming.
Mhm.
Uh,
Tramps.
then you got Good Times, Chic
Mhm.
coming right out there at 3. Of
Mhm.
course, the bass is the
It's
key to
sick.
that
It's
song.
so sick. I
And
love that song.
number 2, we got Dr. Love by First Choice.
Woo!
And
Dr.
then your
Love.
one was see,
Mhm.
you went different. You went Love Hangover, Diana
Mhm.
Ross. I'm
Mhm.
so your top 5's got Diana Ross. My top 5 rightly has Donna Summer.
Mhm.
But there's nothing wrong with Diana Ross.
And
Uh,
and here's the thing. I think that she has fought to stay relevant throughout these decades. I'll just put it out there like that. She has. And my thing is that I remember anytime a song went through a couple of changes, and I just liked it. And keep in mind, I love the movie Mahogany. I just love that movie. So here's the thing. It changes because like 10 years ago, my top 5 was totally something totally different. I could change. Yeah, I could change in another 5, another year or two, and be like, nope, I like this one.
You ready?
What you got? Oh,
Greatest
man.
Dancer.
That's who I like. Sister Sledge. Yes.
Yeah, that's Sister Sledge.
Yes.
Sister Sledge famously on a certain sitcom. They made I believe 2 appearances on a very famous 70s sitcom in which they were embraced by the businessman lead of it. Do you know what show I'm talking about? They towered over the star of the show. They towered over him when they made their appearance.
I should know this.
You should know it because they were in a deluxe apartment in the sky.
Oh, the Jeffersons.
Yes, Sister Sledge is on the Jeffersons. That's right.
Oh my God! So check this out. So here, Mark was like, "No Gloria Gaynor."
Just overrated. Just, I mean,
And
God bless.
No, we
God
are
bless.
family.
Well, I mean, Val just gave you some Sister Sledge, so
I did.
So there you go. There's your Sister. We Are Family. Greatest Dance, I think, is a better song than We Are Family. Of course, famously not just a disco song, but a song of the Pittsburgh Pirates when they won the World Series. That was their theme song that year. They went to disco. Of course, my hometown White Sox did not like disco. They went to a rock song when they won their World Series. They went back to Journey. Anyway, so yeah, We Are Family. Yeah, that was the Pittsburgh Pirates. Yes, certainly remember that. Great song. Sister Sledge, great group. You know, if I was doing a top 20, yeah, I'd have all the sister groups in there.
Exactly.
I'd have Sister Sledge. I'd have the Pointer Sisters.
I would have the Emotions. Best of My Love.
Absolutely. I would have the Jones Girls.
Nights
Over Egypt.
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that one.
This is my wheelhouse, y'all, and that's why we're recommending it to you because you're probably not going to hear about it in too many other places. That's why you come to Interludes Extra Talk on Tuesday. We're giving you kind of something bright. It's been a kind of a gloomy, sad week on many different levels, no matter where you are, especially if you're in the southern parts of our country watching and hearing us today. You've got natural disasters, and then you've got some man-made disasters that just keep happening over and over, week after week. So we want to kind of give you something bright to look out and look forward to. And this is Spinning Gold. It's a labor of love. It was done by a family member in tribute to a music industry giant who died too soon, Neil Bogarts from '82 in Casablanca Records. So that's the happy part, right? The music, dancing to this music. Hey, Val, boys, do you know one '70s movie that had a kind of a disco, at least a disco remix to it?
Recently or back in the day?
No, back in the '70s.
Rocky?
Yeah, Rocky. The original Rocky, where Rocky battled Apollo Creed, you know, and Creed's been back. He's battling Damian Anderson right now, and the actor playing Damian Anderson, Jonathan Majors, seems to be battling his demons in real time.
In real time.
To his detriment. But not someone's opinion. But what's actually going on, Mr. Majors? Mr. Majors is trying to make himself into Mr. Minors.
I don't exactly know all of the details. All I know is that now we have a lot coming for Jonathan. I mean, and here's what we know from Variety magazine.
Right?
Jonathan was arraigned on this past Sunday on several assault and harassment charges according to the Manhattan DA's office. Why in Manhattan? Oh my gosh!
I know Manhattan's already busy, dude. Somewhere else,
Exactly.
man.
They're trying to
Let them indict the former president. Come on, man.
exactly.
Don't give them
Let
any
them focus
extra
on
work.
them. Don't you? Thank you. They need to
Focus on
focus.
the orange man, not the black man. Okay.
They- In the complaint, the unnamed female accuser claims the defendant did strike her about the face with an open hand, causing substantial pain and a laceration behind her ear. And she also claims that he put his hand on her neck, causing bruising and substantial pain. His attorney has disputed the claims, saying that Jonathan Majors is completely innocent and provably the victim of an altercation with a woman he knows. And his criminal defense lawyer, Chaudhry, added, "We are quickly gathering and presenting evidence to the district attorney with the expectation that all charges will be dropped imminently."
Yeah, and if that man don't have enough muscle on him, he's got the whole full force, it seems, of Disney's Marvel army uh, at his disposal. Oh, there it is. Ant-Man and the Wasp. So Kang has got the whole Marvel universe and team of lawyers on his side, which is sort of unusual here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because the person at the other end, allegedly, of this incident was someone who could probably bruise very easily and be those bruises be seen very easily.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is a wonderful actor. We have been enjoying
Yeah,
him for
but
years.
and Val, we should say Val the voice. We should say both of us should say very clearly,
Mm-hmm.
we only know about him as an actor.
We only
Okay,
know about him as an
we
actor,
don't
and
know
all
about
of
him
this,
as a person or a
all of
human
this,
being.
right? And all of this is alleged.
Right, but on the
We
other
don't know.
hand, also we just know of his performances. That's the only thing we're evaluating. We don't
Mm-hmm.
know, and so just clear. I'm sorry. I just wanted to make that was crystal clear.
So here's the thing. I'm hoping that this isn't true. I for very selfish reasons, I want to see him continue to be on the climb, to be Jonathan Majors in
All that he
not
can be.
one, but not one, not two, back-to-back films that did well in the same month. And then this comes out. Like,
Be
what are you
all
did?
that he
What's going
can
on?
be. Mm-hmm.
And then also what happened with he had a commercial deal with the Army. What happened with that, Michael?
Yeah, it seems the Army dropped him. It seems the Army says, you know what? We don't need any help in disrespecting or treating women poorly. We can do that on
Mm-hmm.
our own.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need your help with that. The Army, and what some might say is a quite hypocritical thing, dropped this person who has only been accused, unlike the Army, where it's been proven about their record with some of their female recruits
Mm-hmm.
still
Yeah.
in the congressional investigation in some cases. So yeah. So Jonathan
Yeah.
Majors, he made his mark. If you guys just know him now from the Ant-Man series of Marvel, or even being on the other end of Apollo Creed's fist, Jonathan Majors made his mark several years ago in this little film called The Last Man in San Francisco,
Mm-hmm.
and he was great in it. He like stood out to the point that other, agents, people who cast projects saw him and they put him in this HBO series that really changed the trajectory of his career. Series that mixed science fiction and kind of drama together, and
Mm-hmm.
that's where the you know the rocket began to go up. But right now with this incident, I mean, even Will Smith's like, dude, don't mess up your career, okay? Like, calm down. Because what's
Whoa,
happening
Nelly.
is yeah, exactly. Because what's happening is what we're able to talk about, but anybody who has access to computer can read some terrible things allegedly about Jonathan Majors over the past couple of days. There's been this whisper campaign on Twitter that kind of grows louder and louder each day about people recalling incidents allegedly with him, not involving this person, just as he deals with other people, how he treats people. The word sociopath has been thrown out there.
Yeah.
Um,
So all of
just
these, all of these, all
bad
of these things,
stuff.
right?
And
Yeah, all
hopefully
of.
it's just allegations and people just trying to get their moment of fame. We certainly
Mhm.
hope if this guy is anything like that, that maybe that this, shakes something, the fear of losing this career right at the cut, right on the right as it hits a crescendo. It's like this is the big moment for him. He's got a big movie coming out in December, and it's one of those kind of career making times, and it looks like he's trying to throw it away. And maybe if they salvage it, this will turn him around if any of this is true.
Yep. So, but anywho, that
So
is what's
we
been.
work the best for everybody
Yeah,
involved, certainly.
everyone that's involved. But anyway, it's time to make a turn. It's time to throw something up like a basketball. It's time for the coach. Let's go.
And ta-da! He
Wow.
just
Hey, Coach
disappeared.
Tony. He just disappeared?
just
Mhm.
voila! Just disappeared.
I just saw him. He
I
was
know
just
you just saw him,
there.
and then I just saw him disappear. Just as you like hit the button. Like, whoa. I mean, maybe the excitement was overwhelming, and he just had to kind of, calm down and just
I think I,
relax.
I think I got something going on with my coverage. I think I'm not sure. Am I with you?
You are
Yeah, you
now.
with us. You are now. We
You
appreciate
Mm,
you.
are
It's
now.
Coach. Welcome, Coach.
Kind of snuck in there.
it's just as sad as what's going on. I tell you guys, thank you. I just want to not to summer any sadness. I want to start this show
Oh
off
no. We know
um,
you coming to us from Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
So go right ahead.
from Nashville, man. Uh, it's hit me hard, man. I lost a friend in that thing, that
Oh, see.
shooting yesterday, man. And brother Mike Hill lost his life. 3 children, 2 women, and security. Mike Hill, I kind of knew him, working on some projects with him at that particular church, man. So just moment of silence. Insane. And I just want to say, Nashville strong. We've been through a lot of things with storms and tornadoes, and we'll get through this, man. But let's keep it positive tonight. But I just had to put a nice, beautiful prayer out for my friend, man.
Big Mike, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's
So
how people
Yeah.
knew him, Big Mike. Is that right,
Mm-hmm.
most
Coach?
definitely, most definitely.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Big Mike Hill, and he was known as Big Mike to his friends. That's how the kids knew him. He was 61,
Yeah.
and he was someone who the kids knew him. They apparently, from what I read, he was someone who was part of the community, and he's
Mm-hmm.
one of the 6 people lost in another senseless shooting there in Nashville. So let me just mention, as this I see, I'm looking down, Val, you're looking down. So
Mm-hmm.
keep going. So this is another event. And what's so crazy about this event, I know to myself, and probably to you, Val the Voice, but I don't want to speak for you, was that when this happened, and as the um, press conference was going on, at the very end of it, this woman seemingly just kind of wandered up to a microphone and she began to talk. And it wasn't as though she was, photo bombing or doing anything like that. But she said, I'm on vacation with my kids. We're coming from Highland Park, Illinois. we just survived a shooting, a mass shooting, and to come here and to see another one, it's a little bit too much. And at some point, thoughts and prayers, as the chaplain of the Senate said today, thoughts and prayers may not be enough. But certainly we do have thoughts and prayers for everybody involved in that. But we certainly, if we can, in your own individual way, locally, hopefully change happens locally, y'all. Uh, let's make it harder for these events to happen. Um, Coach, as far as everything I read, and I know you wanted to mention it because this is, you're there. So I'm going to turn it back over to you, of course. But this school, part of a church, locked doors. They were had all security precautions in. This individual had an agenda. They broke through windows to gain access to a place that they had detailed maps on to get inside and where to go. So certainly you can't fault the school, you can't fault the church or any of the people involved. The brave, and I do say brave law enforcement that went in there and helped to end the situation. They ran to the shooting, and we've seen some of the body camera images. If you're watching any news, you've seen body camera images. They did exactly what needed to be done. Thing is, and I worry about this, is that I don't want to say I agree with some people who keep saying that laws aren't enough, but I don't think laws are enough. I do think this is an instance where it's a change of heart. That there's just gotta be a change in people's hearts and what they do, and to be very smart about their words and not provoke those who are certainly compromised and not balanced in their own minds.
It's hard, Mike, when you got the information coming from the top down, because I agree with 100%. So I've been at that church, and at the same time, while years past going there to do some work, all the doors are locked. And when they showed the kids on the back, that's a small play. Remember when I went up to the church years ago, I couldn't get in because I was going to actually use the facility for basketball practice for my AAU team. And you literally walk around the back and the doors open because that's where the kids go to the playground. The crazy part about it is that they were just now finishing up a active shooter drill, and the alarm for the fire alarm went off, and that kind of sparked it. So the shooter, crazy thing about it, she's a first female active shooter in the U.S., at 28 years old. And here's what me and my buddies were talking about the other day, and you guys tell me. So I can have my 19-year-old son, right, who cannot go to a liquor store and buy me any alcohol, who cannot go to the club with me tonight and party with me, and who cannot go to Vegas with me and get in a hotel and go. But at 19, I can send him down the street to buy AK-47.
Right.
Yeah, the police believe that this person had at least 2 of the weapons legally, and 3 of the weapons, an AR style rifle and an AR style pistol and a handgun. But here's my thing. Why is that type of rifle, why is it being sold?
The other thing,
I don't get that.
When they went to her home, she still had 2 more guns in the corner, not in the closet, in the corner.
Yeah, so total 5 weapons.
Yeah, you ain't gonna be up in my house. First of all, the door closed, all that going on. But here's the other thing, I'm gonna put it in reference for you and Michael so you'll understand it. When they found the manifesto, she was set this person come back home and kill her parents. And then she was gonna go to the mall. The mall that she wanted to shoot up was identical to Oak Brook Mall.
Oh.
Wow.
That type of mall. So it wasn't your average mall that's, Evergreen Plaza. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was really, really, really crazy,
outdoor.
man. But
So by
you know,
that, what Coach is saying is an outdoor mall where you got the experience. So it unlike someplace a mall that you normally think of that's enclosed, there's a lot of movement there. So ability to go into a crowd or get lost in a crowd, and that would have made the situation even more dangerous.
and
Thankfully, it
difficult.
didn't get to that. Sadly, we lost 3 children under the age of 9, and
Right.
Right.
then three individuals
Adults
over the
over
age of
60,
60.
and
Yeah,
you still got two
including Big
in the
Mike.
hospital. We still got
Yeah,
two in the
right.
hospital.
Exactly. Sure. Yes.
So,
Right.
but
So this is what I
I
literally
don't know
need
what to
to
say,
say.
Val.
Go ahead, Coach.
No, I was just saying, it's just it pains me because what Michael just said a minute ago, which you guys don't have privy to. One of our state senators just freaking came on the air today, physically on the air today, and said it wasn't her fault. It is not the fault of the person with the manufacturer. See, this is the routes that they're taking. They're actually in the state of Tennessee trying to drop the legal age now
Down to what?
16 years old.
Wow. And the legal age to buy a gun down, and this is that for the state of Tennessee.
It's
Right.
18 years old right now. They're trying to move it to 16.
But
Why?
Tennessee, the area that in which the shooting was, is also the area where the elected representative famously sent out the Christmas card where he and the rest of the members of his family were holding automatic weapons.
Correct.
Nice.
So we kind of know the attitudes there. Coach Tony, we always, Val and I, we worry about you at times. We know all the wonderful things you tell us about Tennessee, but we also know that it's not necessarily a mid-Atlantic state. Sometimes in the worst ways
No,
it proves
it
itself
is part of the
Michael.
South. Michael, Tennessee is the South.
Yeah,
Georgia,
but Val, if you go there,
Georgia
Coach
is the
Tony can
South.
tell you they start talking about they're like Central Atlantic or
Nope.
mid Atlantic
Nope.
state, and now they do that. They'll do
No.
that.
Let me get this point out. Let me hurry up and get this point out. This is what angers me, especially what's happening in Florida with DeSantis sitting up here talking about critical race theory, and we just got to get everything out of the, what do you call that, the education. We don't need to know
History.
about
We got to
this
get
type
rid
of
of this
we
history.
got to get rid of the history. And it's like,
Any
if you
history.
know the history,
it offends people.
not that this shooting was racially motivated, but it's like,
it wasn't.
we need to just I'm just saying. And the other troubling thing about this, the shooter was, I guess, identifying as male, but she's female.
Well, she was
That,
a female, and they tried to say that she still was a complete female within a. That the young lady went to this school, and years ago, supposed to be something had happened to her from the school. The parents and the school still had things going on amongst themselves. But here's the catch that's not on the news that you don't know about. What they say is that this week, I think as of yesterday, was the 20th anniversary of the exact same school shooting in 1993. There was a school shooting in 93. That was the exact same thing this week. So this would have been the anniversary of that shooting. So they don't know copycat or whatever the situation was. But the hard part about it was she reached out to a young African-American friend of hers, a girl, and was talking about the whole situation and to tell her and let her know that, you basically see me on the other side. And the girl was trying to talk off the ledge. Now, news, media was saying that why didn't she report it? Here's what's the scary part. She called it in and they told her on the phone, we can't do nothing about it until something happens. Is that not insane? But they tell you to report this stuff, and then they say we can't do anything about it until something actually occurs. Now, the area that we're in, Mike and Val, one of the most affluent areas in the city of Nashville. I'm talking about like having Oak Brook inside of Chicago.
Oh no, you could tell, Coach. You could tell by the news footage. If you got the shots of the area, that
It's
church,
very nice. It's a very
yeah.
nice area.
And
It's clear.
Very nice.
I got into it with a young lady. I didn't mean to, a Caucasian lady yesterday, who we had a heated debate, and the debate was on the situation that she was in my face, get a little ruffle under the collar too. She's basically saying to me that her own kids told her that, you're president, or you this and that, and she was like, well, I'm just, I never thought it would ever happen in Nashville, and if it did happen in Nashville, I never ever thought it would happen in this area of Nashville because the money and this and that. If it did happen, I would assume maybe in like one of those areas in Nashville itself. And I said, what do you mean, like the inner city? Calls it. I said, I don't mean to be a bearer of bad arms, but if you look at all the school shootings from Colorado to Sandy Hook, there's been maybe 1% of black high schools involved in this stuff. It don't happen in high schools. Now we
don't
may do
kill
something.
ourselves in mass. We kill ourselves
we're gonna get you in the hood
every single day.
Right, we're gonna get you in the hood in our neighborhood. We want to go to your house. I'm gonna knock on Val's door, invite her on the front porch. You know what I'm saying? But we ain't gonna go do no fake stuff.
I mean, the problem with that, and I hear what you're saying, Coach, and just to kind of, not necessarily to wrap this up, but just to kind of say, the problem is, you said like this is happening on the anniversary of stuff, Coach. To so many of these incidents, every day is an anniversary, it seems, of one incident or another. Now, we haven't stopped it.
Right, and it keeps going.
Happening.
Right, it's going to keep happening.
Understand. I agree with the Senate chaplain, the U.S. Senate chaplain, who said he compared it to President Kennedy. Late President Kennedy said, like, America's gonna put a man on the moon. And when he said it, nobody thought it was true. But because they made that their focus and continued to push to make that happen, it eventually happened.
Exactly. And here's the crazy part
about it. If we stop and just focus on this thing and don't get distracted, it can be moved. It can be changed. It doesn't have to stay this way.
Right. Sure. So here's the thing. The horrible thing about these shootings is that warnings have happened. Some warnings have happened. The sale of the rifle, a lot of these is military style. Why is it being sold locally? And then the change of the age from 18 to 16, all of that is disturbing. And Tony, I'm going to let you have the last word on this. So we're going to transition over to sports, but go ahead.
Yes. The only thing I was going to say, which gives me, Mike, it goes back to what you said. I was talking to my buddy who's a basketball semi-pro recruiter in Italy. And Val, we got to have him on the show one night. He's a hoop. But over in Italy, he's in Milan area. Here, 6.5 million people. Do you know how many murders they've had in 1 year?
4.
Try 60. 60 for the whole year.
Wow.
I said 60, we do that in a day in America. Right? From New York to California.
Chicago, we do that in a month. So
correct. So if you take Chicago and you then add the other 49 states, we do that in a day.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
So, but anyway, that's enough. Thank you so much. And we want, we talk so much about these busted brackets, man. I told Val, I sent us some information. I want to focus on our women today. And I got a surprise for you, Mike. And I think that's your girl.
Okay.
Upset. I told you about March Madness with the women. Go ahead and put the women up, Val, because I told you them our Hawkeyes is for real.
Yeah, you did. Caitlin Clark, for sure.
And here's my surprise. I love Virginia Tech because they down on the radio here in Tennessee and whatnot. Mike talking about it's going to be an all SEC tournament. Now, we ain't trying to get Kim Mulkey. Right there, my girl right there, Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark broke up the party. She broke up that party.
Triple dub for men or women.
40?
She had 40. She had a triple double, Mike. Only athlete, men or women, to pull off a triple double, dog.
I mean, Coach, to me, she's.
And
How
she's signed by
far you
Steph
want to go
Curry.
back? How far you? Oh, don't put Angel on there. I
And,
get distracted.
and she's signed
You
by
get me
Steph Curry.
distracted. All right,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There go Angel.
yeah, there's
Yeah.
Angel there. Coach, I got a student in my class that's got the same eye nose structure, and I just started calling her Angel this week. She's like, stop. She's like, I can take her. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way you can take her. Don't even.
Hey, I'm telling you, man, this has turned out to be a great NCAA tournament on the women's side of the house. Even though the women are usually predictable between 1, 2, and 3, but I'm like you.
Well, let me ask about this, Coach, because I think I've been watching these games, and I know that the people I'm watching the games also want me to watch the games. You know what I mean? So they're telling me how great it is.
Oh man, I told Val the other day I was watching the game.
well, that's what I'm saying. So the CBS, TBS, TNT, they're telling me how great it is that I'm seeing all this parity in the men's side and all these teams that you're distracting me, Val. All right, so so they keep telling me this, Coach, but I agree with you. It's the women's side. I mean, where you do have real powerhouse schools and programs battling each other. I don't mind to see a Cinderella get in there, or maybe two, but I don't need I don't need a Cinderella tournament. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what the men are giving me a Cinderella tournament, and the women are like keeping it like real. It's like we're good and we should be here, and they did get there.
And it's going to be the Final Four will be Friday night this week, and the championship game on Sunday. But I'm saying, Mike, I'm telling you, I know for promotional purposes only, but I'm thinking that Maryland gave South Carolina everything they can handle up to the fourth quarter, and it was good. And Maryland lost against Iowa 4 times this year, and 2 of them in a blowout. I'm telling you, they put up almost 100 points the other night. South Carolina cannot be looking by. And what on a triple dub, Mike, she also assisted on 75% of the offense. And here's the craziest stat that you'll ever hear. The post player for Iowa is averaging a double-double. And for the entire NCAA tournament, guess how many times she's put the ball on the floor?
10?
How many?
2.
It's just not.
How is that possible?
Not happening, Coach. I would rather watch all of the women's Final Four than to have to sit through San Diego State and FAU.
Oh,
San Diego State, I think gonna get somebody.
I can't. The idea that you're telling me like these are two of the 4 best teams in the country. I can't agree with you. I can't. I saw them. I watched them play. I watched them win. That's how they got there. But I watched these teams. They're not very good.
But you know what it does for me?
Very good.
You know what it does for me, Mike? It made me mad for one time because I know early on when me and Val was talking about something, I was very, very high on San Diego State at the beginning of the year. Went out to that camp this summer. I got mad at myself because when the tournament started, I got off of them because I saw them in the bracket with Alabama and Purdue, and I got off of them. But, the crazy part about it, for me as a JUCO coach, I love what's going on in the world of sports, thanks to Mr. COVID-19, right? Mm-hmm. So you get a free year back, you still get your injury year, and you still get your transfer year, i.e. 69-year-old Mr. Drew Timme is still got a year of eligibility.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh
so he still has a COVID year, but he said what's happening is, Mike, is that on the right hand, I got Val, who's been in school with me through all of this and decided to stay. She's now an upperclassman, junior, senior. Then I got you walking through the door of this other program of freshman talented. I'm going to beat you down all the time. And the balance in the college game is happening because of what happened with COVID-19.
Look, Mark, I'm so sorry that your Golden Eagles flamed out so early, but don't put this on
FAU ain't winning it all, Mark.
Mark Lee, nobody wants to see that. I don't
FAU's
care.
not going to win out. I
Nobody
wouldn't mind
wants
because
to
I
see
know
that.
Coach, but
And here, Mark Lee, here's how they're not going to win it. If they do get past San Diego State, they're going to have to play the winner of the Big East. Whoever wins that game in the Final Four is the true champion of the Big East. Forget that tournament they had now almost a month or 2 months ago. That wasn't it. This is it. This is the winner of the Big East.
The Miami UConn game is going to be off the charts. They both love to run. They both get up and down, and they both shoot the ball at a high rate, and they play trapping defense. I would like Larry Zonda because he's the only coach in the Final Four that's brought two teams back to the Final Four, and he never won it. So I would love to see him get one, looking like Bernie Sanders.
I would too. I'm leaning toward Miami. At least I hope that Miami can pull that game out. But I mean, really, Coach, that's the winner of the Big East, right? The one that gets to go to the national championship game.
Well, Miami's ACC.
Oh, they are ACC. You're right. They went to their ACC. My apologies.
So you got two mid majors, mid majors, and two Power Five. Two mid majors, the Big East and ACC,
and two teams from Florida.
Yeah, exactly. And the crazy part about it is that what's going on, Bub? That's my girl from my basketball team, my PG on tonight. I appreciate it.
All right.
But the crazy part about it is, Mike, is that the funny part about it is Miami saved the ACC because there is no Duke, right? There's no North Carolina, right?
It's not.
There's no Virginia. There's no There's no Clemson.
Well, see,
all the obvious.
Right. You got to remind me that Miami's in the ACC. I mean, in basketball, because I never think of them in basketball. But correct. They had the men and women did well, right?
And the winning school gets $1 billion. And
oh my God!
Yeah, Val. The winning school gets $1 billion.
Pretty
the winning school, what happens is they take $500 million to the winning school, and the other $500 million is split to the other schools. So even if I lose and go home, they're going to get a piece of this throughout the conference. So that means my recruiting budget just went up.
Yeah. Duke, in a way, if Miami does pull this off, both Duke and North Carolina get better from it.
Correct, they get better, and you wonder why now. Nowadays, Val, these guys, when they fire these coaches, this is just reserve money, right? I only get how much your contract was for Mike? $10 million. Hold on 1 second. Take this check. Get the hell out of here.
It's so wrong, so wrong. But anyway, as we're saying, Coach, the real games, the exciting games are going to be on the women's side.
The most exciting game is going to be the women. All four games.
Those Friday.
Yeah, Friday you're going to see is the best. That's good to me, in my personal opinion. Carolina, South Carolina, and Iowa is the national championship game, personally to me. Now, don't get me wrong. Here's that I didn't even mention, Mike, and I know you sitting there, I see it on your tongue. If Virginia Tech wins and South Carolina win, Val, it'll be the first time in the history of women's basketball that a black male and a female meet at the championship game, because two black females met in Don Staley, the coach of Arizona, a couple years ago, if you remember, Mike. So this will be the first black male and female head coaches to meet in the national championship on the women's side.
Coach, and you know what? That's my number one. I'm hoping that as a number one. But my number two is the satisfaction that I would get to see Don Staley beat Kim Mulkey in the national championship game. I think I would like lift off the ground. The idea
I thought you were going to say that you were brother. I thought you were going to say that you would prefer Virginia Tech with the
beater.
So she even got a chance.
I mean, I would, sometimes, you dislike people so much you want them to lose on the biggest stage. I don't know. And so you're right. The Final Four is a rather large stage, so maybe that'd be a great place.
So I'm pushing that.
Kim, the inner Sandman.
Right.
Right. So the Final Four for the women is this coming Friday. March 31st.
It's going to be Iowa playing against South Carolina.
Okay.
And it's going to be Virginia Tech versus Mike's best friend and Kim Mulkey in LSU.
Yeah, Kim Mulkey of the I don't want to talk about Brittany Griner, Kim Mulkey. Yeah,
right.
That only coach her in the pro.
Got you a national championship. But
and then the men's national championship is going to be the same weekend.
It'd be Saturday and Monday. So the Final Four will be Saturday for the men's and FAU.
In San Diego.
First game followed by Miami and UConn. And then the national championship for the men will be on Monday night.
Monday in Houston.
Wow. So this is all going to be, and this is all happening in Texas? Both are
Texas,
happening in the state of Texas?
Hey, they better hope they don't have another power grid outage, Mike.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was kind of crazy, definitely.
So I haven't had a chance to ask you, and that is, who do you have, girl?
You're referring to me?
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, Mike, I told you I had to put her on the spot because she called herself watching that party. We had to get her. I told you, you'll know you're going to get them final exams, man.
She watched half the game. Yeah.
I watched half the game, and I didn't stay to the end because I'm so sorry. But yeah,
you watching like you watch Avatar, just like
pretty much. Pretty much. I'm looking. I'm like,
it's good. I'm good.
Oh, they're good. Here's my prediction. Here's my prediction as we wrap up. I think on the women's side, Iowa's gonna win.
Boom.
Ooh.
I like it. What about on the men's side, Val, for promotional purposes only?
That's tough. Why are you guys leaning in?
I want to.
Hey, Val, you like E.M. Hutton. Hey, Mike, E.M. Hutton. E.M. Hutton told everybody listen.
And this year with all these broken NCAA brackets, your guess is as good as mine. I mean,
wow.
Nobody had this final.
Here's the crazy part about it, Mike. I wish I was the brother or whoever he was, Val. I don't know if you didn't. I didn't put this in the story. 8,400 to 1 on the men's side of the house when the tournament started. The field versus Houston. For those who don't understand that mathematics, meaning that you got 8,400 to 1 against Houston not winning the championship. Some dude went with a stack on it, which is 1,000, and just came up on 84,000 tight this weekend because Houston got upset.
Okay, not bad at all. So here's my prediction. It's going to be. I believe this is what I've been seeing some good playing coming out of
Stalling,
out of FAU.
Oh my goodness!
No!
Oh my goodness!
No, please,
hey,
no!
Hey, Mike!
Hey,
Mike! Hey, Mike! Hey, Weezy! I'm calling and telling you.
I'm just predicting. I want to say Miami, but I think it's going to be FAU.
I'm coming with you with Val.
Hold on. Here we go, Coach. Coach, Val, what does FAU stand for?
Yeah, what does it stand for, Val?
Are you? Don't do that to me. I am doing a prediction, and we are already over time.
Hey, FAU, they better not be no bad words come out your mouth either.
Coach, what is your prediction?
It is for Florida Atlantic University, Val. I'll give it to you.
Thank you.
Again, my prediction on the women's side of the house, I'm going with an upset, big time with the Iowa Hawkeyes, Caitlin Clark. Love to see Don get it. I just think Iowa's ready for slim pickings. On the men's side of the house, as much as I like UConn, which I think is going to be a tough beat, I really like picking San Diego State to upset the field.
So you got San Diego State cutting down and that as national champion?
First time in school history.
All right. These things can happen. These
fabulous
things can happen.
Much love to Lou Henson if that happens. First time I ever heard San Diego State as a basketball school was when Lou Henson
I know.
went out there and put them on the map, literally. So
all
Yeah,
right.
we'll do. But I appreciate you guys. And I say love you to my girls at Volunteer State Community College who's on air tonight with me. All my girls looking and
right.
chipping in. I appreciate you tonight. See how Coach be doing it. To my guy right there, Jamil, I appreciate you guys. Other guys on. But Val and Mike, I love you, but you know my words. I gotta go. And I'm out.
He's out. There he goes. That's the coach. Oh my goodness.
Right. Yes. Wow.
Yeah, man.
That's show within the show.
I know.
Lord. See there. See. We'll talk as we wrap up, but yeah, you and I will talk as we wrap up. Anyway, okay. So So this is when Val makes an awkward transition to ask me what I'm gonna talk about tomorrow. And then I don't usually know. But unlike that, I do. So let's see when it happens.
Okay, so we're going to put it up here right now. What are you going to talk about on hashtag Wamba Wednesdays tomorrow?
Thursday is a special day for some of us that follow other sports.
Oh, I see you have your socks hat on. Woo-hoo.
Thursday is opening day. Opening day of MLB on Thursday. And Mr. Dylan Cease will go out there and lead my Chicago White Sox on ESPN. They are the ESPN game. I'm not really happy about that because I think ESPN put us on because they thought we were going to lose really badly, and it's possible. But that's going to be a big day in baseball the next day. So Wamba Wednesday, I'm going to do some predictions on baseball. I'm going to talk about the season starting and the possibility, if you like promotional purposes, I'm going to put it out here, record this, play it back if it happens, all right? Shohei Ohtani, the best player in baseball, is starting against one of the worst teams in baseball to start out the season. The chances of a no-hitter are in play. It can happen any day.
Okay.
Just remember that I mentioned that. He may not get it, but he's going to get real close against the Oakland A's, okay? So, just saying. My Chicago White Sox will probably lose to the Astros. That's why it's on. Coach Tony didn't want to bring it up because he was starting to get turned around at the end. The fact that Jose Abreu is going to be playing the White Sox on opening day instead of playing for the White Sox hurts my heart. Yeah, your Brewers. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, your Brewers are playing on opening day as well. I had it just for a second. See if I can find it again. Yeah,
so
your Brewers are playing the Cubs. So, Mark Lee, this is the one day of the year that I will root for the Brewers.
Me too. Yeah. Because me don't like the Cubs. Anywho, so that is what
we're talking about a little bit more about baseball and how still it is financially the most successful pro sport in America.
There you go. And I'll be closing out Women's Day, Women's History Month. Yes.
More than a day.
More than a day. It's the entire month. We'll talk about some celebrating African American women. Okay. The celebrating African American women authors. And so I'm going to be chatting with Michael about what I should be entitling that, because he's come up with all the great titles: Women in Real Women, Women in Motion. Yeah, that's all. Soldier Love. That's all Mike. That's all Michael. So anyway. All right. Well, Interludes is streaming every Tuesday on our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, and then also on LinkedIn. And thanks to Mark, who's rooting for the Brewers. We're available on Pod TV, Roku Town.
Let's go, team playing the Cubs.
Yay. Beat the Cubs. Beat the Cubs. If you'd like to sponsor our platform, book time with us at linktr.ee/Pure Light Media. We want to thank our guests, moderator Daniel Nelson, for joining in.
Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. And if you're interested in starting your own platform or becoming a fan of Talk on Tuesdays, hashtag Wamba Wednesdays, or our audio show Interludes, a Pure Lighthouse production, join us on Patreon. And
get
I'll
a shot of
ask
Patreon.
get a shot of Patreon. And I'll ask Daniel to put that in the chat. Good gracious, that was wonderful. Okay, then Michael, what's your name?
My name is not Val the Voice Johnson, but yours is, and this has been Interludes Extra Taco Tuesday with Val the Voice Johnson.
Yay. And we'll see you guys next week when it's someone's next month when it's the birthday month for the both of us. Peace.
Hey, I know you. Okay, must be Wednesday. I love that song. That's one of my favorite songs. So, hey, welcome. So, today is Wednesday, so it must be, and it is. So, good thing that is. I am, and I am. So, welcome, everyone who may or may not be there. This is Mr. Womble, and this is well, you saw what it is. You know what it is. It's this. And then we usually go to this. And that's what we're going to do today. So it's hashtag Womble Wednesday. I am Mr. Womble. Welcome to Interludes Extra. Hashtag Womble Wednesday. So coming to you as we always do live from the center of the world. Of course, it's outside of Chicago. And I want to welcome you in, talk to you this hump day about something that has been on my mind and something that I think that you may be interested in. So we're going to do that right after we do what we do each Wednesday. So first of all, we run through our W's, which we'll do, and we'll talk about our last W, and then we'll see if we have a special guest this evening, and then we'll move through. Okay, so again, welcome to Womble Wednesday. I am Mr. Womble, and we're going to talk through our W's. Each W kind of follows suit. We always start with wellness, right? Wellness. Now, how are you doing? Okay, you are. And what does that mean? Okay, cool, cool. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I know some weeks it can be rough, so I'm glad it's you know. So how am I doing? Doing pretty well this week. Better than probably I should be, but that's okay. I'm gonna go with it. One of the people that I see not too often, I asked them today, how are you doing? And they told me they were doing fine, and I gave them a look, and they gave me a look back. It's like, yeah, you're not today, huh? And like, no, not really. And that's fine. Sometimes you hear that whole kind of fake it till you make it deal. That's a negative way to look at it. The positive way to look at it is that you want to be doing well. You think that you have the possibility, the capability to do well, and you want to push yourself in that direction, and you want the universe to move with you in that direction. And I think that's cool. That's okay. I'm good with that. So I just kind of responded back to them. I can see probably you're not in that space yet, but hopefully you will be in that space. And when you are, that's going to be awesome. So I don't know if you're not in that space today, this Wednesday, this March the 22nd, then hopefully you will be in that space moving positively. And I wish that for you. As I said, I'm doing better than expected, better than I thought I might be doing. I'm not sure if that means I'm naive or just kind of not coping with reality, but whatever the case, it is much better than it could be. So I'm happy about that. I feel well physically. Still not getting enough sleep, and I know that can kill you at some point. Thankfully, it hasn't done it yet, or else I wouldn't be talking to you. Uh, I do know that I can be healthier. I was on the going through the line of the fast food and was on the phone with a loved one. They're like, "Oh no, you shouldn't do that." It's like, yeah, but I had a salad for lunch. So I don't know. Maybe I'm not balancing things as well as I should or could, but and I appreciated the concern. So wellness side going pretty well. I think it's doing pretty well. The other hashtag we usually have hashtag W's on these Wednesdays. These Wampa Wednesdays. We usually go and talk about wealth. Wealth. Well, I'm doing better than many American and worldwide banks. How about that? What is going on here in the States? The people who regulate our financial situation seem